Hey guys, this video is going to be the food that I ate on my first 3 days of the Live Below the Line challenge, in which I only spend $1.50 a day on my food. If you'd like to see my grocery haul or see me talk more about the challenge and what exactly it entails, you should watch the previous video. But for the first day, I did some meal prep to start off, so I decided to cook all of the beans that I had purchased just in my Instant Pot with some water, nothing very fancy. And then I transfer them to a large bowl, and these were all of my beans for the week. So then for breakfast for the first day, I decided to make some overnight oats because I actually had class this day. So I just chopped my banana first, and I wanted to make this a little bit fancier, so I put some flowers in the jar, but that's definitely not necessary. But then for the actual oatmeal, pretty self-explanatory, I just added a cup of oats, about a tablespoon of my peanut butter, plus a cup of water, and then I mixed all of this together and then chopped up half of a banana, put it into the oat mixture, and mixed everything together. Then I tried to pour this into my jar, realized that wasn't going to work, so I used a spatula instead. So that was pretty easy to make, and it was a very quick breakfast. So then I meal prepped my lunch as well. First things first, I just opened up my can of tomatoes and put them in a separate can to use for the week. And for my lunch, I decided to have about a cup of those beans that I cooked up, as well as a serving of white rice that I cooked. And to give it a little bit of flavor, I decided to add a little bit of tomatoes to the beans and the rice, as well as some pepper, and I did add some salt later as well. So that was the lunch that I packed with me to take to school. Hey guys, so if you can tell by the helmet line on my forehead, I just got back from class. I actually got back a little bit earlier than I thought I originally was going to. So I'm going to just have my lunch at home, but since I already prepped it, I thought it would be good, since I have my camera here, to do like a little taste test for you guys. So I'm gonna sit down. I mean, it just smells like beans and rice. And that's what it tastes like too. I mean, honestly, it's okay. I eat beans and rice a lot. So if I was normally eating this, I would probably add like nutritional yeast or salsa, but I obviously can't afford that. I appreciate the like 2 tablespoons of tomato sauce I put in here, because I do get some of the tomatoey flavor. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to this just to make it more flavorful. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more creative with my food for dinner. So I'll definitely show you guys what I make for that. But for now, I'm doing okay. So for dinner, I decided to try to make a soup. So to do this, I used about half of a cup of my diced tomatoes with about 2 cups of water and some black pepper. And I blended this together in my blender to make a veggie broth. Then, after I had my broth all assembled, I poured it into a pot, and to that I added some of my mixed frozen vegetables that I had, plus some of my beans, and then I also cooked up some rice on the side and added that to the soup as well to give it more volume. I added some salt and pepper to taste. It just brought this to a simmer, and then once it was warm, I poured it into a bowl to eat for dinner. It actually looks kind of colorful and pretty, right? Okay, soup taste test time. I'm a little afraid this is gonna be very watery, but it's the best I can do. It's actually not terrible. It definitely could be worse, that's for sure. I probably could have put it all into this bowl, but I thought that maybe if I ate 2 bowls of soup, I would feel more full. I'm a volume eater, so I usually like to eat like large quantities of things, but they're not necessarily very calorically dense. So like if I eat a really big salad, I obviously eat a lot of other things other than that, but that also like helps to fill my stomach. But I don't really have a lot of like calorically dilute things during this week. So I thought soup would be a pretty good idea. Honestly, it's really not terrible. I definitely am going to be eating a lot more salt this week than I normally would, but that's okay. And I'm also definitely going to be savoring these veggies. I almost cried when I opened the bag and there were so few. But it is important to think about, you know, like if you're on a budget and you can barely afford food for the week, are you really going to go for a bag of frozen vegetables that cost $1 when instead you could get like a loaf of sandwich bread? I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty hungry, but hopefully I will be okay. And then after this, I still have a little bit more food for today. I have the other half of the banana that I used part of for my breakfast, and then I get a little bit of peanut butter as well as an evening snack. Overall, not too bad, but we'll see how I am feeling on day 2. All right, day 2. So I had a little bit more time this morning, so I decided to try to make some pancakes. So I blended up my serving of oatmeal into my blender to make an oat flour. To this, I added 1/4 of my allotted banana for the day, plus about 1/2 of a tablespoon of peanut butter and some water to make it a pancake batter. So I just blended this up until it formed a batter, duh. And then I cooked the pancakes as everyone else cooks pancakes in a nonstick skillet. Then once all of my pancakes were done, they looked something like this. And to make this a little more fancy, I decided to make a peanut sauce by mixing some of my peanut butter with water until it was a pourable consistency. Then I poured this on top of my pancakes, and I used my remaining 1/4 of a banana for the morning as a garnish. And voila, we have peanut butter and banana pancakes. Okay, I have my breakfast pancakes here, and I just want to say that while these were fun to make, I feel like if we were being realistic, a person who was pressed for time or had to work in order to make an income probably wouldn't make this as a morning breakfast during the weekday. It ended up taking me around like half an hour or so. So I am trying to be creative with my food, but I just wanted to give that little caveat. Obviously, these are not as fluffy as pancakes because I couldn't add baking powder because I couldn't buy that, though the person may have it in their fridge normally. So I guess they're more like crepes, but they're kind of gummy, but overall, not terrible. Also, I just wanted to say that I obviously could not get all the peanut butter out of the tablespoon and the sauce jar when I was pouring it on the pancakes, and I'm definitely going to be licking these clean because I'm starting to get a little hungry right now. I went to bed and I was like, I probably could have eaten another snack, but I didn't want to eat any more food. So I'm definitely ready for this breakfast. So I will see you guys at lunch. So first for lunch, I decided to make another tomato sauce. This time I just blended some of the chopped tomatoes with salt and pepper to make it a thicker sauce, and I set this aside. But in the same container, to give more flavor, I blended some beans to make a sort of refried bean paste, and to this I added some rice. So then I mixed this mixture together with a little bit of salt and pepper, and I formed some burger patties and cooked this on my nonstick skillet. And then once those were done, I served them with the remaining rice and my pasta sauce for my lunch. So it is about 2:30 right now. I ate my lunch a little while ago. Still doing okay, but I don't know if you guys remember, but I actually have 50 cents left of my $7.50 budget. So I'm going to drive to the store to get my last item. And once I get it and come back in the car, I will let you guys know what it is. So I ended up actually going to Aldi and I got some plantains. They were actually only 15 cents each, so I was able to get 3 for 45 cents. So I officially have 5 cents left. And realistically speaking, I don't think I'm going to be able to buy anything for 5 cents, but I am so excited to eat these with my dinner tonight. Rice and beans and plantains, so a little bit of tomatoes. Oh, it's gonna be so much better. I am so happy that I was able to get these. So my dinner was pretty self-explanatory. I just had my rice, veggies, plantains, and beans with some salt and pepper. And then I had my banana and peanut butter later, but let's go back to dinner. So yesterday I said like by the end of the day I was kind of hungry, but it wasn't that bad, but it's definitely worse today. I like woke up in the middle of the night and was pretty starving. I'm really trying not to complain because I don't want to come across as whiny, but I just wanted to acknowledge that I definitely am eating less food than I normally would be eating if I could afford more food. And this is definitely whiny, but this rice tastes pretty bad. I'm noticing it more the more I eat it, but it just kind of has like a weird plasticky taste to it. I don't really know. Oh, I also wanted to briefly talk about the fact that I've definitely noticed that since I've been more hungry and because I haven't been eating enough food, it's definitely harder for me to concentrate. So the timing of this challenge actually kind of happened during my finals week at school, which probably wasn't the brightest idea, but I just wanted to do it on the official dates. So I have a nice neuroscience final tomorrow, and I've been trying to study for it, but I will admit it's been a lot harder for me to focus on things. But that only makes me think, like, if a normal child doesn't get an adequate amount of food on a daily basis, does that affect their performance in school and like their ADHD, their ability to participate in classes, things like that? So I am definitely grateful for the ability to, one, fuel myself adequately to go to school and get good grades, but two, to even have the opportunity to go to school, because I'm sure some people who live below the poverty line don't even receive a higher education. So I guess today, even though I'm hungry, I am grateful for my education. So I think I'm gonna leave that at that for day 2, and we'll see what I come up with on day 3, and if anything else is new or interesting. Okay, so I was at school most of the time for this day, so I didn't have a lot of time to film, but for breakfast I tried to make some cookie dough bites by making some oat flour, and then after this I added my banana, my peanut butter, and just a little bit of water just to get things to a blendable consistency. So then I had a sort of dough, and I just formed this into cookie dough bites, and I took this with me to school. Then for lunch, I just packed some rice, beans, tomatoes, and a little bit of plantains with salt and pepper. And then for dinner, I had the same thing as the night before, except I steamed my plantains instead of roasting them. Hi guys, long time no talk. I was really busy today. Like I already mentioned, I had an exam, so I didn't really have a lot of time in front of the camera, but I just went for my evening walk, and I am now finishing my night off with my classic half of a banana and my scoop of peanut butter snap. But yeah, day 3 is basically done. I'm very excited that I am over halfway done this challenge. It has definitely been a challenge. I think I've already touched on this a little, but I'm definitely hungry and not eating as much food as I normally would. But I will say I don't feel overall terrible, as bad as I thought I would for like eating so few vegetables. But I definitely am drinking a lot more water just to try to keep myself full. So I think that's like kind of helping. But yeah, this ends days 1 through 3, and I'm going to end this video here, and I'm going to do days 4 and 5 of what I ate in the next video. And then I've been getting a lot of comments and interesting questions from you guys, so I think I'm going to do a final sort of wrap-up video in which I break down the nutrition of what I'm eating, how many calories I ended up eating in a day, as well as giving you guys some educational resources. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you're interested in that. But other than that, I think that is it for this installment of my Live Below the Line challenge. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit that little button down there, and you can join the cool kids. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.